Now, it's the biggest evacuation in the United States since Hurricane Katrina, with 500,000 people moved out of their homes in California as wildfires sweep the south of the state. The people being hit are among the richest on earth and the richest state of the Union, where, if California were a separate country, it would have the fifth biggest economy in the world. President George Bush is on his way there tomorrow. How different is this response from the response to Katrina? Jackie Long's been finding out.
We have three things come together: very dry, very hot weather, and then a lot of wind. And so this makes the perfect storm for fire.
Perfect conditions for widespread destruction. Huge swathes of America's Golden State scorched black. The fires, which have been raging since Sunday, have damaged more than 400,000 acres of land. That's about the size of New York City.
There are so far 40 injuries and 3 deaths. 1,664 structures have been destroyed in California. Out of that, there is approximately 1,436 homes that have been destroyed. There's over 25,000 structures that are threatened right now.
A mandatory evacuation, leave and do not come back in.
500,000 people are now in shelters like this one. America has been here before, just 2 years ago when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. Back then, President Bush was savaged for not responding quickly enough. Ahead of his visit to California tomorrow, it was clear he won't be making the same mistake again. His message was direct.
Most importantly, I want the people in Southern California to know that Americans all across this land care deeply about them. We're concerned about their safety, we're concerned about their property, and we offer our prayers and hopes that all will turn out fine in the end. In the meantime, they can rest assured that the federal government will do everything we can to help put out these fires.
The President has also signed a major disaster declaration, which will release federal funding to help deal with the crisis. There's no doubt that the people of California are benefiting from the cruel lessons learnt from Hurricane Katrina.
The old way of doing things at FEMA was to wait for the local government to be overwhelmed and ask for assistance from the state, for the state to be overwhelmed and ask for the federal government, and once they asked, we would begin to move. Now we're leaning much further forward in our posture. We're preparing in anticipation of the move. If they don't call and request aid, nothing was lost. But if they do, we're able to move much more quickly, much more efficiently.
But the very contrast in the way the federal government has responded may yet do President Bush damage. After Katrina, he was accused of reacting slowly because the victims were poor and black. In California, they're mainly white and rich. Very rich. The fires raged through properties along the coast in Malibu, home to celebrities like Mel Gibson, Courtney Cox and Sting. Tonight, the filmmaker David Lynch, currently in London, spoke about the crisis back home.
Everybody's been talking after Katrina, about, things could happen in L.A. with an earthquake or, there's fires, and there was no rain all summer. So I think it just caught them off guard because there's 18 or so fires going, and it's just so big.
Back in California, others have watched as the fires edged closer to their homes.
There's my house. Slow pan.
Man, that is something.
There's a fire.
Yeah.
This afternoon, though, the fierce Santa Ana winds which have fueled the fires showed signs of abating. Now thoughts can turn to what happens next.
Once the fires are contained and people begin to return home, the President has authorized us to help those in the recovery, both local communities and individuals whose own insurance or who don't have the insurance to get themselves back on their feet.
The task ahead is immense. Estimates of the damage already caused have reached $1 billion in San Diego alone. And it could still be days before all the fires are finally out.
Jackie Long reports.